friends, what is the first thing that comes to your mind when you think about math? I think of numbers. We see and use numbers every day and everywhere. There are small numbers and there are big numbers. We use small numbers, for example, when we count the days left to a big event we are waiting for, when we tell our age, or when we want to pay for some treats at the store. When do we use big numbers? Scientists, for example, use big numbers when they measure the distance between the Earth and the Moon, or when they measure the depth of the ocean. Do you think this is a big number? 1,000. How can we tell whether this is a big or a small number? Who decides? If this is the number of minutes you have to wait for your turn to ride a game in a park, then it is a very big number. You would have to wait 1,000 minutes, which is almost a whole day for your turn to come. But if this number represents the number of sand grains in your bucket, then 1,000 grains of sand make a very small pile, not even enough for you to build a sand castle. What determines how big or how small a number is the way we use this number. But what we can do is compare numbers with each other. Which is the smaller and which is the bigger number? In this math module of Madrasati, we are going to learn 2 ways to compare numbers. And why do we even need to compare numbers? We'll have a guest with us today. Hello, Crocodile. Crocodile is going to help us with our math lesson today. Did you know that crocodiles are the biggest reptiles on Earth? Look at his long snout. Crocodiles use their snouts to eat big animals, like turtles. Mr. Crocodile over here doesn't only love eating big animals, but big numbers as well. For instance, if we have 5 turtles on one side and 2 turtles on the other, you will see Mr. Crocodile opening his snout towards the bigger number. 5 is greater than 2. This is the sign we use to indicate that a number is greater than another number. It looks like the crocodile's snout. Oh, look, there are some frogs. How many are there? Which side has more frogs? Towards which side do you think the crocodile will open his snout? Remember, he opens it towards the bigger number. 4 is less than 6. This sign shows less than. These are the signs we use to compare numbers. Whenever you feel confused as to which one to use, remember that they look like a crocodile's snout, and his mouth should always open towards the bigger numbers. Look at these 2 numbers. Let's compare them. 2,615 and 718. The first thing we do is check how many digits there are in each number. Obviously, the 4-digit number is greater than the 3-digit number. And you can imagine Mr. Crocodile opening his snout towards 2,615. What about these 2 numbers, 76 and 758? Which one is the greater number? Any 3-digit number is always greater than a 2-digit number. Next, we have 265 and 578. Now, these 2 numbers are both 3-digit numbers. Does that mean they are equal numbers? No. The second step is to compare the first digit in each number. In this case, we compare the hundreds, 200, and 500. 2 is less than 5, so automatically 265 is less than 578. The next 2 numbers are 981 and 964. We call these 3-digit numbers because they consist of 3 digits. Let's compare the first digits. 9 and 9 are equal, but this doesn't mean that both numbers are equal. We then move to the second number, the tens. 8 is greater than 6. So 981 is the greater number. We use this sign, which opens towards the greater number. Before we move on with our lesson, let's have a challenge. Are you ready? Instead of comparing 2 numbers, I am going to ask you to compare 4 numbers. This is called ordering. Look at these numbers carefully and order them from least to greatest. You need to change their order, beginning with the smallest number and ending with the greatest. Which number goes first? The smallest, of course, is the number that consists of the least digits. 73 is a 2-digit number. Next, we have 731, a 3-digit number. We are left with 2 numbers, and they are both in thousands. Which one is smaller? 3,771 or 7,321? It's 3,771, and the greatest number in the whole set is 7,321. So we've shuffled the numbers and placed them in order from least to greatest. Let's have another example, a more difficult one. I would like you to order these numbers from least to greatest. Which number is the smallest? Which one is the greatest? Is it confusing? They are all 3-digit numbers and within the 400s. So the smallest number is 428. Less than 454, which is less than 458, less than 485. This is a bar graph. We usually use graphs to represent information. This bar graph shows the number of animals in a zoo. Each of these bars represents the number of an animal. Which animal does the zoo have more of? Tigers or ducks? Which bar is longer? There are more ducks than tigers. Which animal do they have more of? Rabbits or turtles? Look at the bar graphs that are labeled rabbits and turtles. They have more turtles than rabbits. Lions or ducks? Ducks. Lions or tigers? They are equal. Notice that there are 4 lions and 4 tigers. 4 is equal to 4. How many rabbits are there? There are 10 rabbits. How many lions are there? There are 4 lions. Which of these 2 animals do they have more of? Rabbits. Now my next question is, how many more? How many more rabbits are there than lions? We can see that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more rabbits than lions. When we compare 2 animals, this means we are finding the difference between them. This means we subtract 10 minus 4 equals to 6. Let's now compare turtles to ducks. There are more turtles than ducks since we see a longer bar above turtles. How many more turtles are there than ducks? There are 14 turtles and 8 ducks. To find how many more turtles, we must find the difference between those 2 numbers. We subtract 8 from 14 equals to 6. There are 6 more turtles than ducks. How many more ducks than tigers are there in the zoo? Ducks and tigers. There are 8 ducks and 4 tigers. There are more ducks than tigers. How many more? Let's find the difference. There are 4 more ducks than tigers. Now let's have one last challenge for this lesson. Are you ready? In the zoo, there are also some parrots. There are 8 more parrots than tigers. I need to add a bar to this bar graph that shows the number of parrots. There are more parrots than tigers. 8 more. How long should my bar be? Which number should it reach? We have 4 tigers. And 8 more means we must add 8 to the 4. There are 12 parrots. In this lesson, my friends, we learned how to compare numbers and how to find how many more using subtraction. See you next time. Bye.
لمشاهدة المزيد من الحلقات زوروا سات 7 بلاس.